everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and today is our color challenge day, which means we are working with these 4 colors, and remember, we don't have to use all 4 of them. We can pick 3 that we want to work with in each project, so your color combinations can vary from project to project every week. This week I am working with the orangey gold tones, the blues, and the greens. So I'm going to move this out of the way because remember, we are also, using the stamps from Tracy Easson and for this month, and I was looking to see if I had, this is the set that we're working with. This is her Believe collection, and I'm only using the girl today. Everything else is coming from a Graphic 45 collection called, Ocean Blue collection. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see this was a sticker sheet, and I pulled one off already and prepped it for today. But there are some really pretty papers in this collection, and this will give you a quick flip through. We had the cut aparts, a lot of tans and blues, not a lot of the other colors, but I'm going to add those in using Lindy's Magicals and some alcohol. And I'm going to use alcohol because they will dry faster that way, because as soon as the alcohol evaporates, the ink is going to be in place where I need it to be. I was not yawning till I started this video, and I am sorry. Bob is downstairs in his lounge chair, trying to work out some kinks. I had a soda here a minute ago. I was over at the other table prepping more ribbon bobbins for the store. Now, there will not be a shop Sunday this week, but I figured while I was waiting for my phone to charge so I could do this video, it was a good time to get some more ribbon wound. So I have taken a 6x9 sheet of the mixed media pad. Remember the big one that I've cut down to use for Maddie's challenges, and I took one of those and decided to use it as my base, and instead of doing a card or a tag or anything this week, I thought we'd do a journal page. So I kind of tore a piece of that 8x8 on the diagonal because it wasn't going to go all the way to the top anyway. And then this blue that you see in the background is actually part of an 8.5x11 sheet from Hobby Lobby that is just water, and it seemed to fit. In fact, I had it stored with this paper pad, so apparently I had something in mind to do with this anyway. The other thing I've done is I have used a Dilution stencil. It's called Bubbles. It's a stencil and stamp set, and I did this with Stamperia cream paste, and I did this last night so that this would be dry for me to start adding color this morning without having to run the heat gun. So that's what we're working with. So now that I have the base done, let's do the fun stuff and let's play with the color. Now I am going to have to really start keeping an eye on my time, so I have that set up, and I have about 12 minutes. So remember, I've got those 4 colors to work with, and I'm going to use the blues, and I'm going to add the greens and some of the greens and the oranges into here. For the orange, I am using this one. This is Octoberfest Orange from Lindy's, and this was one of their early colors. And I'm also going to use the Lantern Lime from the Industrial Chic. And that's one I'll pick up off the floor later. But I need to bring in a green, so I'm bringing in the Rusty Lantern Lime. I can get the lid off. And I'm using one of my paint wells from Dollar Tree. I keep one clean that I can use for the alcohols. Then the rest of them I've been setting up as and I don't need a lot, so I'm okay with that one. just a few drops, because all I'm going to do is I have some alcohol in my brush, in my water brush, and I'm going to make sure I've got some coming out. There we go. And let's go in here first with the green. And I know it looks really yellow, but it's supposed to be green, so we'll see. Let's test it over here. It's got a little bit of a green to it. I think I'm going to add some shabby teal to that, just to make it more of a green. Because remember, if you mix blue and yellow, what do you get? You're going to get a green. So let's do that and see what happens. I could have used Rudolph, the green from the Rudolph collection, but the Rudolph collection's a little too bright of a green. This is more the color I'm after. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to add some color in the veins of the shells. And this also adds it by using the magicals as opposed to a regular watercolor. I'm adding some shimmer to this seashell, just like that. I would rather watercolor or, you know, work with these than use crayons. I used to love to color as a kid. I would lay in the middle of the living room floor with my coloring book and crayons for hours. TV may be on in the background, but I wasn't really watching it. I was coloring. I've always loved color. Okay. And see, now we've added some green in there, and I could really use a little bit more. Let's add some highlights down here to this shell. And instead of following lines, I'm just going to brush it on. I'm not going to make any more. I'm just going to use what I have. Just like that. And let's get some up here around this one. This one reminds me of a Christmas ornament up here. See, and all I did was, there's a hint of that green, but there's also a hint of sparkle. And that sparkle is what I wanted. Now, I am going to hit this with the heat gun for just a minute, because I want to do some direct color to paper on this, and I want this other dry first. So let me hit this really quick. Because I do have the orange on there. But I think what I want to do instead is I want to add a little bit more of that color to here, directly to the paper. And let's get a little bit of shimmer on there. And then, I don't have my water, I don't have my sprayer with me, because I use it also to deter the cats. I use it also to deter the cats from getting on my filming table when I'm, or my table over there when I'm trying to eat. So let's just take this and a regular brush, and let's just give that a pop there. I got an itch. Got to be a way here to put a little bit on here without having to create such a mess. Now I'm going to come back. I wanted to do the brush. I could have done the brush, right? Now, I don't really want it that dark, but that's okay. That's okay, because I can come back with one of my dry baby wipes that I keep. Remember, I keep those over here in my tray, right there. So I always have some handy. And now I can come back and I can blot that up a little bit and take some of that orange out of there so it's not quite so stark. There we go. There we go. Just a little added coral. And then I'm going to wipe this up off of here, and I'll hit that with a heat gun here in a minute when I'm done. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to add this, and I need to come in with my Tombow, with my Memento black rather, and we're going to ink her up before or after I wear the ink. Okay, tough on it to make sure I've got a little bit of... And see, we want those bubbles over here with her. So I'm going to go right about here. I think that's where I want her. She doesn't show up a lot, but that's okay, because we're going to come in and fix her. We're going to come in and fix her. And since we've hit her with the Tombow, we're going to be able to go in and color that. Because as long as I've used at least 3 of those colors in the challenge, I can do whatever I want to now, right? So I want to come in with a little bit more of the magical. And I want to use just the, actually let's add the teal. I think the teal will be, no, teal's going to blend in too much. Let's use this. Let's use this. And I'm going to come back in with the alcohol. And I'm going to sit down for this. And you're going to hear my timer go up here in a minute, but we are just about done. So I'm going to get this going here. And I'm going to come back in and I'm going to paint her in. So her coloring and her hair is a little bit more defined. As I turn myself orange here. Let's see, if I'd have paid attention where I was putting that, I wouldn't have smeared her face. I wouldn't have smeared her face, but we can fix that. I'm going to use the dark petal pink, maybe the light, Stampin' Blend from Stampin' Up. And let's see if we can make her face pop out a little bit more. See if we can make her face pop out a little bit more. Maybe not. Yeah, a little bit more defined. A little bit more defined. I can live with that. Can you? Okay, now, the other thing I have, I really would like to have taken a little bit more of that orange off. I have more of this green. Let's go this way and finish out her hair. Is she turning out exactly like I envisioned? No. Does it matter? No. Because I've got to sit here and just play with my toys, and that's all it's about. Okay, now I've taken this one was off of there, and I backed it on a piece of chipboard. Friends are like seashells we collect along the way, and I thought this was appropriate for all the different seashells that are in here. So I'm going to come in. I have this, and I have this paper, and I think I want to use the paper. So I'm going to take and cut a little bit of this paper out. This was a packing paper. I have no clue where it came from. Came in something, behind something. And I think I want to stretch it out a little bit. Well, not quite that much, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll just go like that. Get it going the right direction there. And because this is a little thicker, I'm also going to need to add dimensionals behind it. But I'm going to come in with my craft glue and my I'm just going to I'm going to come over here off the work surface here a little bit, and I'm just going to dab some glue on there. Can you see how I'm doing that? I'm just picking up, dabbing the edge of my silicone brush into the glue and dabbing it on. And I'm going to put that right there. And because that has texture to it, I need to come in behind it with a little bit of dimensional, because otherwise that is going to be off center. So I want to come in with just a little bit. I think this is perfect. I think this is perfect. Okay, because it's going to come right there. And see how it wants to rock back? So to keep it from rocking back, I'm going to put this on the top. And it will pick up the space of this. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab some more of that craft glue and just kind of swish it across there, and it will pick up and attach to that. And there we go. There is, right on time, is our art page for this week. Nothing left this weekend. I will be back Monday with a new Make It Mail It Monday card. As soon as I'm finished here, I've got to tear all this stuff down and out of the way so that my dish technician can get in here tomorrow and swap out my Joey for the hopper that is in the living room so that I can have my YouTube in my office. He's got to come out here and figure out why I have channels that are telling me signal lost anyway, so I figured while he's here on my free service call, I'd put him to work. So that's it for me in the studio today. Remember, get your toys out and play. As always, remember to like, to share, subscribe. Creative blessings.